What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the restock or re-release of the Chalk Ultra Boost 1.0. Pretty sure this is the second time I've reviewed this pair of shoes. But you know what, it's kind of cool. You can go back and watch the review from 2016. I think it was like one of my first videos, maybe like the 10th or the 11th video or something like that, something crazy. But now like 300-400 videos later, we've got the updated review. Very similar shoe. So the content of the video won't change that much, but I guess the background and just the overall production quality is better. So there's that. Before we jump any further into the review, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, StockX. For the last year or so, StockX has been an awesome supporter of the channel, so I'm sure by now you guys already know what StockX is. So because you guys already know the spiel about how every sneaker that you buy on StockX is 100% authentic, and that of course is because they have real people looking over every single shoe that goes through their system. So rather than talk about that, I want to talk about one of the features that I use on the site all the time, and that's their price tracking tool, which is underneath every sneaker on its own individual sale page. The great part about this tool is that it shows you the prices that every single sneaker has sold at through its lifetime. So for example, you can look at the restock of the Cream Ultra Boost and see what the shoe was going for before it came out, and then also what it's going for now, which actually is around retail, which is super crazy to think because if you go back to the original Cream Ultra Boost, which is also on the StockX site, and look at the lifetime sale graph of that sneaker, things have definitely changed. It's really crazy to see the difference in hype between 2015 and 2018, even though it's pretty much the exact same sneaker. But not only is that lifetime sale price tracking tool super interesting to look at and get an idea of how the sneaker did over its lifetime, it's also a really great way to decide how you want to sell your shoe. For example, if you just picked up a new pair of Yeezys and you're trying to decide whether you want to sell the shoe right now or hold on to the shoe and see if the prices go up, a good way to determine whether the prices will actually go up is if you look at previous Yeezys that are sold on the site. You can check out the sales tracking tool on any sneaker and see if the shoe that you have is likely to go up or if you should sell right now. But that of course is just one of the things that I love about StockX. I definitely suggest you guys checking out StockX for yourself. Whether you're trying to grab a grail that you missed out on or trying to unload some of those brand new sneakers that you've never worn, StockX is the place to go. And if you'd like to check out StockX for yourself, make sure to click the link in the description below. Originally thought to be a friends and family exclusive, the Cream Ultra Boost 1.0, formerly known as the Chalk Ultra Boost 1.0, finally released in December of 2015. When the shoe originally actually released to the public, it dropped in super limited numbers and kind of randomly popped up at different sneaker stores throughout the city. I honestly got lucky and happened to walk into a Champs in I think Garden City, Long Island, and there was a couple pairs left, so I was able to grab a pair that was sort of close to my size. And that of course is where the super cringy review from 2 years ago came from. Please don't search it. And at the time I was stoked to have it because even though the shoe wasn't in my size, it was still super limited. I still thought I would get a good review out of it. I was just stoked on it. I ended up getting lucky again and actually grabbing a pair in my size, I think from a restock a month or two later. And I sat on those pairs of shoes for a while, like I think maybe a couple weeks to a month, so it actually wasn't that long, but I figured that maybe the resale would go up and maybe it'd be something I could use to pay rent. I wasn't totally sure what was gonna happen. And then because restocks kept popping up, the resale completely plummeted. It was basically like $20 over retail, and that's what I sold both my pairs for. Fast forward to like 6 months to a year later, these shoes were going for like $400 to $800, and you know, that actually would have paid rent twice. So that was a mistake. But regret aside, I still got one of my early reviews out of that sneaker, so it wasn't a total loss, I guess. And now in 2018, I finally have a pair that I'm actually gonna rock. This is actually the first Ultra Boost 1.0 to retro, and I know you guys might be saying, wow, 2 years, maybe 3 years at best. That's not very long before they started retroing shoes. And I totally agree with you on that. I love Adidas. The Ultra Boost is one of my favorite sneakers of all time. I think it's a great shoe. I love the chance that I'm actually able to get an Ultra Boost 1.0. But they're not really helping the hype situation here. And as much as you guys say you don't like hype, hype really is what drives the sneaker market. And so for shoes like Ultra Boost, where the sales maybe are slowing down a little bit, bringing out a super hyped model that was actually limited and actually hyped might not have been a bad idea. Instead, we're getting a wide release of a retro of one of their more popular colorways. And yes, I am happy to actually own the shoe now for a reasonable price, but doesn't really help Ultra Boost sales. I guess that's not really any of my business, but it's just a thought. So without further ado, let's take a trip back to the past. I guess it was like 2 years ago, the Ultra Boost 1.0 Cream. Jumping right into the shoe, we get to the part of the sneaker that every Ultra Boost head dreams about, the Ultra Boost 1.0 Prime Knit pattern. This is by far my favorite Prime Knit pattern. This is the one that started it all. It's got that classic arrow shape on the toe. The ventilation holes are super breathable, it's super stretchy. I just love it. Of course, most of it comes in this sort of chalk or light cream color, and then you've also got some light gray woven throughout. This prime knit has sort of a wool feel to it, which I really like, and I guess it's ever so slightly warmer for the winter months, but honestly at the end of the day, you probably shouldn't be wearing Ultra Boost in super cold weather anyway. As we continue up the shoe, you get to these sort of light tan or cream flat laces. The laces weave through this dual tone TPU midfoot cage, which matches so nicely with the rest of the prime knit. I know it sounds dumb, but that's like one of my favorite parts of the sneaker. I just think it looks so good. Around the top of the tongue pull tab area, you've got this sort of light tan or cream mesh, which is only present on the Ultra Boost 1.0. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this super plush cream sock liner that feels great on your foot. And then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got that black insole with that dumb Boost text in white. I don't know why they didn't just go with the classic Ultra Boost insole. The rest of the shoe is retro. Why couldn't they just retro the insole? I know it's not a big deal, but if you're gonna retro the shoe, at least give us the original look. As for fit, the cream Ultra Boost 1.0 fits just like any other Ultra Boost 1.0. And if you've never tried on a pair of 1.0s before, that's definitely a little bit tighter than regular Ultra Boosts. And the reason for that is that the 1.0 uses the same mesh around the ankle area that's used on the tongue. And the problem with this mesh is that it's just not as stretchy as prime knit, so it doesn't have much give. So it is definitely harder to get your foot into the shoe. Once you're in there though, it's fine. It's definitely a little bit tighter than regular Ultra Boost, but nothing major. Continuing back on the shoe, you get to that sort of light gray matte heel counter. You've also got that classic metallic Ultra Boost text in silver and gold. Then moving down the sneaker, you get to the part of the shoe that I raved about in my last review, and that's mainly because I'd only worn like a pair of Ultra Boosts before this, and that part of the shoe is the full-length Boost midsole. I guess to update the review, Boost is still great. Nike has a competitor out now called React, which is pretty good as well. Can't really go wrong with either. This still looks like styrofoam, super comfy though. And then finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got your black webbed Continental outsole. Overall, I'm super happy to have the 2018 Cream Ultra Boost 1.0. This is a shoe that I actually have a history with, and I think even Tom mentioned it in one of his videos. It's sort of a checkered past with this shoe, and that's why I have a love-hate relationship with it, but purely based on aesthetics, I think the shoe is incredible. The price point is still $200, and the good news is, if you're trying to grab a pair for yourself, you can pick these up on StockX right now for just over retail. I think it's like $4 over retail. That pretty much wraps up the video for today. I would love to know your thoughts on the Cream Ultra Boost 1.0 restock and whether you grabbed a pair for yourself, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Of course, once again, huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, StockX. If you'd like to check out StockX for yourself, make sure to click the link in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.